Listen, I know you've been told that you need to post every single day in order to grow on social media. You need to wake up, you need to script videos, then you need to shoot them, then you need to edit them, and then you need to post them like a hamster on a content treadmill. But here's the truth, the people who are making money from content aren't actually posting more. They're posting strategically. This video is for you if you're a coach, consultant, or founder and you're tired of being called the content guy without having any clients to show for it. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact 1 day per week system which I personally use to grow 315,000 Instagram followers, 65,000 YouTube subscribers, while also getting 350 plus paying members inside of my school communities while only working once a week. And unlike every other video which just tells you to just simply batch your content and gives you vague advice, I'm actually going to be giving you the system which you can use to turn that 1 day per week into a profit engine. So stay till the end because I'm going to be giving you the exact framework which made me stop chasing clients and start printing them. Let's get started. So firstly, we're going to be talking about the power of strategic batching. Now, a mistake that riddles most creators is they wake up asking themselves the question that what do I need to record today? And the problem with that is there's a lot of friction in your everyday operations and there is decreased data flow. What does this exactly mean? Now you have to understand, and if you're a coach, creator, or consultant, you probably already know this, that we don't really love recording days. So it is a little bit of friction for us to get in the mood. Sometimes we can perform in front of camera, sometimes we can't. So in that case, you're adding that source of friction for yourself every single day, because if you don't record every single day, then your content pipeline essentially starts suffering. And on that day, maybe you might not be making money. And another problem with this is, decreased data flow. Because you're recording every single day, you don't know when to exactly collect the data. And I'll tell you what I mean with this as a whole as well, but with the friction point, to reiterate this, you have to get into the mood. You have to, get your scripts ready. You need to, get your production system ready. You need to, sometimes be in the right headspace. Sometimes you're not in the right headspace. And, with me personally, I've also noticed this, that on some days, I just want to, work on the operations. I don't feel like recording, but I can be super productive, put my head down and be like 100% dialed in on scaling operations, on everyday operations, on admin work and stuff. But sometimes I'll be feeling a little bit more creative. My enunciation and my articulation is going to be on point and I'm going to find it pretty easy to record in front of camera. But if you're putting yourself through that friction every day, you might catch one of these days where, you don't really feel like recording. And on that day, if you don't record, then your content pipeline is essentially going to end up suffering. And another problem with this is you're not going to be getting a lot of data flow. And again, to reiterate, I'm going to be talking about what this exactly means in this point. So this is how the CEO creator basically acts. He or she basically tracks the data by the week. He or she uses the data to script their content. They use their data to determine what action to bring using this specific batch of content. So when you basically batch, as an example, if there are, 7 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and this is Sunday. And let's say you batch all of your content here. So you've recorded all of your content for the week. So what's essentially going to end up happening during these days is you can essentially determine that using the content that you recorded on Sunday, how many signups did you get? How much resistance did you get? Did you already get pre-closed leads? What was the amount of intent in those leads? With this data, essentially, you can now determine that was this batch a good batch or was this a bad batch? Did you cover the right topics in here? Did you position yourself in the right way? Did you hit the specific pain points which were important in order to hit these KPIs or not? If you do this, you can essentially be using these days for admin work and for tracking the effectiveness of this specific batch. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to be using that data to basically fine-tune and iterate your scripting and positioning and topics you need to cover, and you're going to be using that data to determine what action to drive using this specific batch. So as an example, if you determined that during this week you sent a lot of emails, but you didn't get a lot of conversions, right? In comparison to how much conversions you get normally. That probably means that you didn't create good enough education awareness content, or maybe you just don't have enough people in your email list. So what you're going to be doing in that case on next Sunday is you're going to be creating a lot of content which basically builds up hype for your email signups. Maybe you're going to be preparing a free training or a free ebook or any freebie along those lines in order to, really create something which solves a problem for your audience. The problem which you're going to be making your audience aware of in this specific video, and you're going to be basically giving them this free training, and as a result driving more email signups, and you can use these days to basically perform these tasks when you've batched all of your content on Sundays. Then you can determine whether there were enough call to actions towards your offer in this week of content. If the content that you made on this Sunday didn't get a lot of people into your program, that probably means there weren't enough strong call to actions or persuasive call to actions towards your program, and then maybe if your offer wasn't converting, you will determine that you didn't create enough videos on educating the audience about the problem that they're facing, making them aware of the problem, and really highlighting it in the simplest words possible. So when you start batching your content strategically, you stop asking yourself the question that what content do I need to record today, and you start asking yourself the question that what action do I need to exactly drive using the content that I record once a week. So this is super important, guys, and you need to start integrating strategic batching, and you need to stop becoming a slave to your recording schedule. Next, we're going to be talking about turning your content into a lead machine. So the mistake that most creators essentially make is, getting too wound up in likes, getting more likes and vanity metrics and follows, and not getting enough leads. So this is something which I personally struggled with as well when I first started creating content, that I started to measure success by the amount of likes or follows that I got. And this is a grave mistake which you should never ever be making. You have to understand that in today's day and age, likes and followers simply don't mean revenue for you. You need to be making sure that every single piece of effort that you put in gets you a little bit of a return back, because it is a little bit of a time investment, it is an effort and energy investment to make content, and you should be rightfully paid in return for that. So you need to be making sure that you're getting a lot of leads, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that. Your content should essentially have one job, and that is to attract qualified buyers. And the way you're going to be doing that is you're going to be making sure that in every single video that you post, you get the audience or drive the audience towards some specific action. One thing which I've personally integrated into my funnel, which has been working absolutely amazingly for me recently, is a free community. The reason this is so powerful is because you can use it to basically give a call to action towards one of your YouTube videos. So as an example, if you have a sizable audience and you were able to get 100k people into your free community, that means that you can push your YouTube video towards an initial audience of this many people. And this gets them to basically push the views of your YouTube video quite a lot more. And if in that video you've basically given a call to action towards your offer, the initial surge of viewers is going to really push that offer towards more of the right kind of buyers. The next thing which you need to integrate is lead magnets. Now with the advent of ChatGPT, this has become so incredibly easy, because what you can do is you can generate 41 page ebooks, you can create cheat sheets, and all of these assets are pretty much reusable, and you can basically create your videos around those cheat sheets, around those ebooks, and then basically drive that action and collect their emails in return, so that your email list also grows on autopilot. So every single video is getting people into your free community, every single video is getting people towards your lead magnet, and at the same time, while driving the action, you're not sounding pushy whatsoever. A lot of creators also make this mistake, getting into the lead magnet rabbit hole, that they're going to put many chat automations on absolutely every single one of your videos, and you don't want to be doing that, because in that way, when you're doing automated comments, when someone comments training under your video and you send an automated response to that comment saying that just sent you the free lead magnet, check out your DM, what you're basically signaling to Instagram is that your account is being run by a bot, and we don't want to be doing that. We need to be making sure that we're integrating some call to actions where you're just telling people to click the link in your bio in order to access your free community, or you're sometimes maybe once or twice a week integrating many chat automations and telling people to comment a specific keyword under your videos in order to get a lead magnet. But you don't want to be doing this with every single one of your videos, because once you get down this rabbit hole, you might just earn a lot of bad rep from Meta, and as a result they might even suppress your account a little bit. And you should also be pushing people towards your booking page sometimes, and the way to do this is, again, link in bio. I would really recommend you integrate all of these call to actions in a very natural way, and not integrate ManyChat into absolutely every single one of your videos. Maybe into your lead magnet videos you can do that, maybe once or twice a week you can do that with your free community, but just make sure that you're only running ManyChat automations on maybe 1 or 2 reels per week of your content calendar, and you're not doing it with absolutely every single one of your videos. If you need to drive action with every video, you'll do 1 or 2 ManyChat automations, and with the rest you'll just tell people to click the link in your bio in order for them to for you to drive that action from your audience. But essentially the point I'm trying to run home here is you need to be making sure that you're driving some kind of action with absolutely every single one of your videos. Yes, I'm not joking. You need to be driving action with absolutely every single one of your Instagram reels, because if you're not, you're wasting your effort, because you might be getting some returns if you drive some kind of action, and even if that reel doesn't perform, the compounding effect that absolutely every single one of those reels is going to have is going to end up in a lot more increased added revenue for you down the line. So next we're going to be talking about the evergreen authority funnel. So once your content starts driving interest, it's time to automate that trust. And here's how I personally do it. I use my Instagram reels to basically push people towards my free community. I use my carousels to get people towards my free training, and in return collect their emails. The reason both of these things are so important, because I personally learned while growing my Instagram audience, when I was gaining like 50,000 followers every single month, I was getting a little bit of bad rep from Meta because of the pace that I was growing at, and I basically suffered one report or one ban on one of my videos, and because of that I basically ended up getting a shadow ban on my account. So what I personally started integrating is getting people into these audiences which I personally own, because Instagram and YouTube audiences, you simply just don't own them. So these are very good traffic sources that you own, and you can never get banned off them. You might if you do something bad on your school account or your emails, but for the most part you don't lose these people. So you need to start owning your traffic, because it is so important. And when I used to I started creating content, and a lot of people started to suggest to me that you should be running an email list. I used to think that no one freaking opens their email, and having an email list is going to be an absolute waste of time. But once I started to see the results from my email list, I started to understand that email is like so incredibly powerful, and you need to start integrating it to start basically owning your traffic sources. So essentially what I used to do with my free community and with my email list was I used to push people towards my YouTube videos, or I used to push my offer towards those people. And in my YouTube videos, finally, I used to get people from my free community, I used to get people from my email, I used to get people from organic, I used to get people from Instagram stories, and these people would essentially give my YouTube video that initial surge, and this combined with a killer thumbnail and a killer title, this was a recipe for success. And this is why I was able to surpass an audience of 65,000 YouTube subscribers within a couple of months. And you know, in those YouTube videos, because they got that initial surge, I used to position my offer as the solution to the problem that I highlighted in my YouTube videos. And as a result of that, because of the initial surge as well, my offer used to be sent towards the right kind of eyeballs and more of those right kind of eyeballs. And as a result of that, I used to get really good conversions from my YouTube videos. And as a result of that, I was able to get 350 plus paying members inside of my school community. And again, just as a reminder, if you need my help with this stuff, if you're a coach, consultant, or founder and you need help with increasing 10,000 followers, 2xing your business revenue within 90 days using the authority hacking framework, which I personally used to gain 315,000 Instagram followers within 365 days while only working once a week, click the link in the description, book a call, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together or not. So I'm going to be showing you some proof in this point to basically showcase to you that I'm not just basically just throwing fluff at the camera. I've actually achieved these results. So I was able to surpass an audience of 315,000 Instagram followers within 365 days, a 65,000 subscriber YouTube audience within 4 months, 350 plus school community members, not by chasing trends, but by actually just mastering the systems. And if you were to like actually rewatch the points which I gave to you in, you know, the earlier parts of the video, you're going to find some absolute like gold mines and some like light bulb moments. And if you don't, you know, integrate those systems into your content strategy, you're going to be suffering quite a lot. Because I don't want you to be the kind of person who's just, you know, looking for follows and likes, because we don't want to be doing that. You need to be recognizing that you're a CEO and you're not just a creator, okay? Because if you're a creator, you're going to be running after these vanity metrics, but we're business people and we need results, we need more revenue, and we need to be strategic with it. We can't just be pushing our offers and shoving those, you know, down our audience's throats in every single one of our videos. We need to be intentional about it. And the way we're going to be intentional about it is to make sure that we're driving action using absolutely every one of our YouTube videos, Instagram videos. Because if we're going to be doing this, then we're going to be getting a sizable return for the amount of efforts that we're putting in. And you know, I don't essentially mean that you pitch your offer in every single one of your Instagram reels. No, I completely understand that you need to create some education awareness content, but you know, just give soft call to actions towards a free community, man. You know, that's not going to harm absolutely anyone. You know, if you create a 90-second reel or like an 80-second reel, and in the last 2 seconds, you just give them a soft call to action. By the way, I go more in depth about this in my free community. So if you enjoyed this video, click the link in my bio and join my free community. If you just gave that small call to action, and you know, or if you could even make that even shorter, you know, if you want more help from me, you can join my free community using the link in my bio. Yes, granted that, you know, maybe 0.5% of those people will, you know, drive that action and join the free community. But even if that's a small 0.5%, imagine if we were to compound all of these 0.5%, you know, with every single one of the reels that you're creating. Imagine how much this number is going to turn out into. And you know, who knows, this video might get 300k views, this video might get 200k views, this video might get like 10k views, this video might get 300k views again, this video might get 10k, 20k. But you know, just to run my point home a little bit more, the compounding effect is going to be absolutely great, and business is all about compounding interest. So you need to be making sure that you're driving action using every single one of your videos. And you know, this was just to showcase to you that I'm not just spitting fluff out the camera. I've actually achieved these results and I've mastered the systems, and I don't like chasing trends. So you need to be making sure that you master the systems just like I did, and you drive action using absolutely every single one of your pieces of content, because every single piece of content is basically like a piece of real estate that you own. You need to be getting some return for it. If you're not getting return for it, then you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the investment, but you're not getting absolutely anything in return. And I don't want that to be the case for you. So if you're tired of the grind and you want to build a system that prints clients, start with this. Take 1 day a week, batch your content, build your content funnel, automate trust, and then measure your conversions. Do that for 90 days and I promise you that you'll never look at content the same way again. And again, if you need my personal help, you can click the link in the description to book a free discovery call in order to see if we're a good fit to work together or not. And please don't just consume this content. I want you to actively implement these strategies for yourself. Because in the new creator economy, the one who controls systemized attention controls income. So make sure you make your decisions very wisely. At the end, remember that for those of us climbing to the top of the food chain, there can be no mercy, my friend. There is but one rule: hunt or be hunted. Thanks for watching.